We run early intervention programs with a focus on music, sports activities, academic support, and all sorts of, I suppose, underlying support needs that a family would have. So it's not necessarily the children that we support, but we support all of the family needs. And that's actually extended to the point where we can support community members as well. Realised today in this exhibition, where we're supporting community members, Christopher and Lil, in their expression of their art form.
20th of July 2023, we are on the penultimate day of Bridging the Gap exhibition. Is the flyer. A dual exhibition. I don't know if you can see that. Is it focusing? A dual exhibition. My first exhibition, photo exhibition, along with Lil Sullivan, who's done the art section over the other side, who you've heard from already. So, I guess overview. It has been good. It has been interesting. Have we bridged the gap? I feel a gap has been bridged in some way, shape or form. In a sense of between the people who have come to the exhibition and looked at some of the artwork and shared some of their stories with us. A gap has been breached, or not bridged, but made narrower, I would say. Has made smaller. So it has been good. We've had a steady flow of people on the days. It's a bit quiet at the moment. You have moments when there's nothing happening, and then you have moments when a few people come in, and I think that's been the best, because on the launch day we had the most people.
And then the second thing is just to say how wonderful it is to be here and to see both Christopher's work and Lil's work together in this space, and to be able to celebrate that and to get it out to hopefully a wider audience. And just reflecting on the work that we have here today. So Christopher, your photographs of Brixton are just so moving to see, because I think you know, Brixton has so many layers to it, and it is, I mean, it's a wonderful place. Such a lot of it is joyous, but there is also pain, and there is brokenness, and there is struggle, and there is distress, and there is creativity and wonder, and your images capture all of that. And it's really, honestly, it's genuinely so moving to see all of it together, and to see how you can be, as you said to me, like literally in one moment, there's one set of emotions and human life being expressed, and it can change to something that's completely opposite in just a second.
I've noticed that you've caught a lot of characters from past and present, and there's a lot of characters that I still see from when I was a kid. He'd literally got all of them, you know. You do see some weird characters in Brixton, some off-key characters, some surprising characters, and some weird characters.
Black and white is powerful. Black and white's what tells it like it is, you know. It's almost like, this is black and white, this is me. As you say, we're not looking at the colours, we're not looking at the clothes.
There you go.
And the reflection of the church, that is opposite childhood home.
Yes.
It's opposite our childhood home. So we'd see this church every day.
Yes. For years.
For years and years and years.
In
And I
those
think
seasons.
I've never seen it captured this way.
Okay.
I'd see this church every day, and I've never looked at it like that. I've never seen the church kind of look so beautiful and peaceful. Brixton's not a peaceful place, but this looks so serene, so peaceful. And it's just a different way of capturing Brixton.
I was looking at someone on the other side this minute ago. It just reminded me of when I was younger and seeing all the people in Brixton, like whether it's like from crackheads to mental health people, just the normal people that's selling fruits and veg or just walking about. And it reminded me of when I was younger. And there's one specific one that I saw with the guy with the smoking, and the thing was little like that. But I remember. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I remember enough of that, and I remember that how that used to look when I used to see a lot of the big man them around, and then they'll be smoking it right to the end, and they burn their fingertips. Yeah, but that picture made me smile. Like, yeah. No, you know what it is? Yeah, because I used to always see it and I used to be like, why do you make it go so little? It burns your hand. That shit away. But it's like they just keep on going and it's like, nah, that's gonna, when you're younger, remember, that's just like fascinating. Like, that's gonna burn his fingers, definitely, because it's too small.
I also like this one.
Yeah.
This one is also striking to me, and I'll tell you why. It's kind of similar to what I said previously. Life is happening all around this.
Mm-hmm. The framing is great.
Yeah, it's really a nice photo.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing their thing. They're sitting there chatting, talking. There's love in the air. Someone is looking at their phone. Maybe they're trying to find something out. Someone is just enjoying their music. And this person is just kind of walking through life and all of that. It represents just, you're just going through life with everything that goes on around you.
Yeah. It's a very layered photograph, that one.
Says like, I don't know who is for that. She's not allowed to cross, or we are not allowed to cross.
Well, there's a line between us. That's it. There's a dividing line, and we have to bridge the gap.
So that is a very nice, amazing message there. So it's like, are you crossing or so?
About the young boy waiting outside the booking office, and he looks so miserable because instead of him going where he's supposed to go, he has to wait on his whoever it is, uncle, father, to come out of the betting shop.
Could be his mum.
And well, yeah, it could be the mother as well, but I doubt it. And yeah, you know, that was the day. Back in the day, children had to wait outside booking office.
You didn't have to do that, did you?
No, but my children's father, he used to go in the bookies, and I told him, listen, instead of you wasting your money on the bookie, give me the money and I'll make you some food.
What in the world was
That's Brixton, isn't it? That's Brixton. Stuff happens in Brixton. What happens in Brixton stays in Brixton.
For me, I was so surprised that that picture, this picture, you told me about the story, and you captured that moment. That was so cool because for me, I do street photography as well, but I cannot think about that much. I'm like, looks good, that's it.
What's happened over the 2 weeks is we've had 3s and 4s, people coming in 3s and 4s, and what that has done is allowed us, myself and Lil, to actually explain what we've been trying to do or what we tried to achieve here. You know, so we've kind of like taken them around on a little circuit. Lil has started off by breaking down her shrine and her found objects and her paintings, and then she hands them over to me and I take them through the snap decisions part of it.
I'm glad that we had a show together. I curated this exhibition with the idea of the sound, the fury, the Brixton's full-on stuff, and so I thought, okay, we'll have a patchwork quilt about the sound and fury, the good, the bad, the ugly of Brixton, and so I did your section first. Then I thought about the really interesting shapes of the actual place, and it's really interesting. And so we did some shapes about that. My side is about my father mostly, and my sister. The what's it called? The shrine. Yeah.
Why did you decide to do a shrine for the exhibition?
It's for the honoring my father and my sister and their passing, and the passing of all my ancestors. The fact that every 4 generations from white Irish to my daughter, who is there, just there, and she is Black Caribbean. So it's about the bridging the gap in that way. Yeah.
And Lil, your work is also so rich and reflective and creative and beautiful. and so moving to hear from you about how it draws on your family's experiences, but your family's experiences, I think, are also reflective of the experiences of many families in this part of South London, of people finding a home away from home and reflecting on that relationship between the nostalgia for what has been left behind, but also the reality of the present and the future, and how relationships that we form begin to form and change communities over time. And your reflections on the loved ones that you have lost and the expression of that in your work also is really moving to see.
My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. And as he turned away from me, this he did say, we will not be long, love, till our wedding day.
Well, really what really fascinates me about Lily is about her family. Where she's dedicated this part to her family and her dad. And just looking at her dad, growing up with the Irish, I could hear him speaking, I could, just seeing him, because the face is...
Did you ever meet her dad?
No, but I'm just saying with Irish, growing up with them, I can see other Irish in him, if you know what I'm saying. They've got that sturdy way they whatever and ready to curse. His might look like he's ready to curse. Trust me, I'm not being funny.
There's another picture of Lil and her daughter here, which I thought was really nice, because you can see the closeness that they have. And obviously Lil's daughter there getting her degree. And I do like the fact that she mentioned that she has passed away and come back in some respect.
Yeah,
and there's a symbol that she has, which is, one of them is just here, which is not a closed circle, but it's circular. And I understand what she means by that, because you go through life issues and you come out of them and you're back on the same trail, but then something puts you to a position where you have to rethink your life. Like, whether for all of us it was a pandemic, right? So we had to rethink our life structure with that, and most of us have come out of it, and we go around in that spiral again until the next thing that takes us off, maybe, and then we get back on that spiral.
Mother and child there, which was interesting, and the lamp, all the scriptural sort of representation, all embedded in the family as a unit, and that's quite important, because even biblically, family is an important element. We're always told to honor our parents. Yeah.
I really like Lil's artwork, especially Jacob's Ladder. It's quite a poignant image, especially it's on different pieces of paper and it's been put together. It kind of shows that whilst we're trying to achieve something, there's lots of different steps we have to take, and those steps aren't always equal.
Pues que todo me ha parecido muy bonito, sobre todo lo que ella contó de reciclar y hacer ese trabajo para ese proceso de ella, porque yo también estoy en un proceso y pues eso es como muy ejemplar para mí.
I think that everything is very beautiful, but in particular it was the recycling part of taking things from the street to put it together, to help her with the process of an illness, because it relates a lot to what I'm going through at the moment as well.
For me, I've learned a lot, and even hearing how Lil breaks down her paintings and the reasons behind why she does what she does. I've found that there's some of that applies to me as well, because I'm the sort of person, I don't really analyze why I do what I do. I just do it. And, putting the exhibition together and being involved in it has forced me to analyze why I've done what I've done a bit deeper. So that gap has definitely been brought a little bit closer together. We've sold some prints. We've sold quite a few zines, got a few left. I got 5 left. I actually printed a box of zines just for this event. So it'd be nice if I could sell the last 5 in the next 2 days. But even if I don't, you know, I think it's been a very successful, you know, experience, a very successful and good experience. We have some prints left over so that if we want to do another exhibition afterwards, we can use those as the basis to build off of, foundation on. A lot of people that I've invited have not come. Some people that I've met for the first time on the streets and told about it, I'm just giving them a flyer, have turned up and bought zines, and that's interesting as well. Timings were a bit awkward because it's 12:30 till 3:30 and a lot of people who are working obviously can't come down. So put it down to that. But we are in a youth centre. It's not an actual gallery, it's a youth centre. So we have to slot what we're doing in between what they're doing in the youth centre. So there's that.
Hello, Mrs.
So we'll have to redo it, but now we don't have to. Mixing it.
So I give thanks to to Meg, who runs the youth centre, for, you know, because she's the one who encouraged me to do the exhibition in the first place. So I give thanks to the youth centre, to the Brixton Wings. I give thanks to Medge. I give thanks to Lil, you know, and for all those who've come down and supported in one way or another, because it's not all about coming down and buying. Just being here is supporting as well. So for those of you who came down, you know who you are. Give thanks, you know, and it's given me a platform to stand on in order to move forward, wherever that may be. So that's my little piece on bridging the gap. And yeah, salute. Excellent. It's all good. Zoom. That's good, man. Can you play? This is Meg who runs the centre.
Yeah.
My recommendation to both of you is that you use this as a stepping stone for the next exhibition that you do, and that you take it to a gallery space where it is meant to be, as opposed to a community children's centre, which is fine, and it is a nice setting and you're welcome, but the point is it actually needs a dedicated space, and it needs a gallery environment, because that's what people understand when they come to look at exhibitions, that they want time, they don't want to be rushed, they don't want to be imposing, and yet I'm trying to at the same time run a centre.
Yes.
On an everyday basis. And sometimes I'm running 4 or 5 programs concurrently. So to accommodate this on top of it can be a challenge. But at the same time, I appreciate the art, and I think it is a platform for allowing people to present their work. And it should be taken another step, and another step higher actually, not even at the same level. You guys can go higher, have expectations that are higher for yourselves.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here. Yeah, and she's got to go now, so we're all going to go.